Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Christmas edition of the Saturday Live Show. I think we had a great guest last week with Greeny Travels. I want to thanks to Brian and Fi for last week. Really had fun with them and really enjoyed the pre-interview as well. So appreciate them coming on the show last week. I think that was their fourth appearance. So really appreciated having them on last week. And this week's guest is Got to Love Thailand. And at the 1 hour mark, guess what? We have Eat Out Pattaya coming back to run through the vlogger news and the currency exchange with us. So with that being said, the Saturday Live Show starts now.
Welcome to the Richard Travel Christmas Show.
Hello everybody, welcome to Richard Travels. I'm waiting for Richard's jet. It's supposed to pick me up here. I don't know where it is. I see that one. Anybody see Richard's Travels airplane? Could it be that Learjet out there? I don't know. I'm waiting for it. Well, hopefully it gets here soon. I'm going to Thailand.
For 97 Rogers, have you located him?
I'm here at the airport waiting for Richard's jet. I know he has them, but where are they?
Welcome, everyone, to the Christmas Saturday Live Show. I wanted to thank you to Eat Out Pattaya and Robert Mac Media for their contributions for the intro today. You know, it's kind of interesting. I always get a lot of messages from people saying, hey, the intro is a little long. But then as I'm playing that intro, I see the numbers of everyone coming to live chat sort of coming in slowly but surely, because I think that YouTube sort of delays some of the notifications sometimes. So it gives you a little bit of time to come in, and such a great community in the chat today. I was seeing that happening like an hour before. So I wanted to say hello to a couple of key figures here today. Get a Jake, hello, how you doing? Time to get going in there, saying Merry Christmas to you as well. And Chris across the planet, good morning to all the peeps in the house. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Life After Kids with Key Williams in there. That's great. Making time in her day to watch this. Appreciate that. Boy, messages coming in thick and fast. Appreciate that. ET saying hello to everyone in there. And Chocolate Man in Thailand says, where did Richard get that Dave shirt? It's my Christmas shirt. And actually, I don't know if you can see these lights. They kind of light up. But under the lights, they don't really light up. So maybe it was good plan, but didn't really work out that well. Brock's Travels in the house. Morning to all in the chat. That's great. Good to see that you made it, Brock. Scott Hummer in there. Mr. Mitch is going to be profiled in one of our videos coming up here shortly. Ron John. Big Daddy L Rob, nice to see you back in there again. Thailand Digital Nomad will be joining us at the 1 hour mark. Great CJ in Paradise in there. Nice to see you, CJ. Good, glad you could make it. Very nice. Looks like we got Chuck, No Time to Be Sad, in the chat. Let me see here. Chuck, where are you, buddy? Where are you? You know how it is, Chuck, trying to find those last couple of messages. Hello, Chuck. Let's go up here. Maybe I need another set of eyeglasses. Let's see. Chuck, where are you, buddy? Trying to find your message. Get her, Jake. Darn it. Don't see it. Chuck, where are you? All right, we'll come back to you, Chuck. Put another message in there. I'll profile that for you. Jay Easy, nice to see you in the house as well. Appreciate that. So it's so interesting. So what we love to do here on the show is we love to spotlight those guests that have come on the show and hit it big since. we love to celebrate our previous creators that have done well. And I wanted to say congratulations to Adriana and Dylan, 2 passports, 1 dream for 100,000 subscribers. For those that are not familiar with their channel, let's take a look at it now. So I think last time I checked, they were actually at 99.3K subscribers. I don't want to jinx it, but I figured they're going to be well over 100,000 next week. So I wanted to be the first ones to wish them congratulations on hitting the 100K. I think it's great. We've had them on a couple times, and they're such great people. They deserve all the success that they're having, and really can't be more excited for them. So really appreciate that. I actually emailed them. I said, hey, I'm going to be profiling your channel on the live show. So hopefully they get a chance to make it in there and say hello. So congratulations there to Adriana and Dylan. And then we had a couple of polls on the community tab this week because we did change the time of the show. So it's actually going off at 7 p.m. my time. So a little bit earlier on the day for Thailand, 10 a.m. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that there is a community tab on people's YouTube channels. And what I mean by that is you'll see here on my YouTube channel, there's a community tab right here. So you can click on that. It's almost like a Facebook feed for YouTube creators. So just be mindful of that does exist. I don't believe that you can see it on an iPad. I think it's exclusive to an iPhone or your laptop/desktop. But that's where I post a lot of stuff for the show, the guests that are coming on the following week. So just be mindful of that. And the couple of polls that we had were, hang on. So we had 2 voting polls. One was, is the new time better or worse? And the second poll that we had is, should we change the name of the live show? Because it's actually Friday night for me, Saturday for Thailand and other time zones as well, Australia, I think UK as well. So I think it's just America's Friday. So I wanted to kind of go over the results of the poll. So the first one was, is the new time better or worse? And let's see that one. So that actually came in, that was not very close. That's 62% of people said that it was better, and 23% said it was worse, and 15% did not know that I had a live show. Very funny. Ha ha ha, very funny. But that's okay. So I think it's a better time for most people. So I'm excited about that. Now, the second poll that we had, should we change the name of the show? So that was a big one, and started out with some other options that were kind of leading the pack. And what one was, keep it the same, Saturday Live Show. So initially, like some of these changes, like Fry Saturday, Fatterday was actually leading the pack initially, first couple votes, but then keep it the same popped in, and that sort of led by, against weekly live show. So the nice thing for me is I just kind of keep it the same. So easy for me. So thanks for everyone that voted in the poll. Appreciate that. We've got a good amount of people, more than usual. So I thought that was nice that most people kind of saw that. So appreciate that. And I wanted to just kind of go back to the chat here before we bring on our guest, Your Mojo, saying hello to Tom, Bill Clock, and Journeys with Mike and Nicole. Nice to see you in the chat. I was actually on their live stream a couple of days ago. They do a great live stream. They really keep up with the chat comments. So good job, guys. Had a lot of people in your live show. That was great. Appreciate that. And see, it's so frustrating when I see that Scott Hummer is saying hello to Chuck, but I don't see Chuck's comment. What's going on, guys? I want to profile Chuck. Where are you, Chuck? StreamYard. It's like a love-hate relationship. So frustrating. Well, Chuck, you're in our thoughts. So funny. Hey, sometimes you can't profile the comments. Chuck knows this. Going Gray's in the house. Mike and Nicole just watched you and Kara get ice cream. That was nice. And Daz Dragon in the house. Hello, Daz. How you doing? Daz is like a celebrity in Thailand. Not that he has his own YouTube channel, but because he's on everyone else's YouTube channels. So Daz has a lot of friends in and around Thailand. So that's always nice to see. And so one thing I wanted to talk about was time for a little bit of self-promotion. So my channel was actually started a while ago, a couple years ago, with a video series that I titled Rishar Returns to Thailand. It's a 10-part series, and I put together a short little video clip of part 3, one of my favorite ones. In Pattaya, the sun also rises. So I wanted to kind of play that for you now, just a quick little 60-second video. Put in the chat what you think of it. It's one of my favorites. I kind of shrunk it down to just a couple video clips. We'll be right back. In Pattaya, most travelers count the hours to the sun setting for the nightlife to begin. I understand. The nightlife is what this city is famous for. But what many don't understand is that in addition to the sun setting, in Pattaya, the sun also rises. I'm aware of the popular saying in Pattaya bars. It goes, "I've never been to Thailand, I've only been to Pattaya." I wonder if those that sit on bar stools all day long would say the same if they spent the day with me. So why Pattaya? What can this city do for you? Well, I'm not sure I can answer that question for you, but I can lay out the evidence and you can draw your own conclusion. I can tell you what Pattaya has done for me. It has shown me that in life, all things are possible. This is a place where if you can imagine it, it can happen. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." What can you imagine for yourself? So thanks for letting me take a stroll down memory lane there. If you get a chance, please check out part 3 in Pattaya, the sun also rises. One of my favorite parts that I put together. That and part 10, I think, was very good. So thank you for letting me kind of stroll down memory lane there. And I did see some messages from Chuck come in during the video, and I saw that Joe from Thai Girl Gift and Foreigner Joe was in the house. I wanted to go back up there and profile his comment if I can find it. There we go, saying hello to Dave. So thanks, Joe, for coming in. Appreciate that, and wrapping up your live stream a little early. I know that you could generally go about 2 to 3 hours. So Joe was very nice, wrapped it up at the hour mark and came on over. So thank you, Joe, and thank you, Gift. Appreciate that. And Scott Hummer's putting a link in there for Chris Across the Planet and Life After Kids with Key Williams saying, "Nice background, Richard. Thank you." So green screen's gone, but I've definitely invested some time and money into the lighting situation here. Got to tell you, I'm kind of sweating it under these key lights today, though. To look at maybe turning down the temperature on these key lights. They light me up, not the background. I'll tell you, it gets a little hot under here. I think some of the YouTube creators in the house know what I'm talking about. So Chocolate Man in Thailand responding one of Ron John's comments about Daz and his channel. So that's funny. Jay Easy saying hello to Chris. Journeys with Mike and Nicole saying hello to Mojo. Appreciate that. And Chocolate Man Thailand, say what you want about Pattaya, but everyone always ends up here. That's very true. And we're going to talk about a couple of vloggers today in the vlogger news section that I found that have actually relocated to the Chonburi area, some in Jomtien, some in Pattaya. We're going to talk about them today. Really interesting channel. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, we do about a 45-minute chat with Dave from Gotta Love Thailand. Then at the 1 hour mark, we're going to bring in Eat Out Pattaya and go through vlogger news and also talk about the currency exchange. So if you're watching the replay, if any of those things interest you, fast forward, stay where you are, whatever you want to do. We're here to support you. And CJ in Paradise says, this was the first video I watched of Richard Travel Part 3. Oh, thanks. That's nice. Yeah, that goes like a 12-minute video. So I've tried to shrink that down to just about 90 seconds. And Big Daddy L Rob says, great videos. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that. And Chris Across the Planet saying, everyone smash the like button. I appreciate that. And if you don't smash it for me, smash it for Dave, because he's a class gentleman. And I got to tell you, I can't be more excited to welcome Dave from Gotta Love Thailand into the live show. You know, we've been friends for a while. We've kind of been on each other's shows. He's come on once when he hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, and we congratulated him on that. And I got to tell you, so I'm not really big on doing individual intros anymore for the show, just for sake of time. I kind of do more of a standardized intro. But for Dave, I had to do something special. And just for everyone that's in the chat, so they know, this is my gift to Dave. I'm going to send this to Dave after the live show. He can include this in on his live streams moving forward. But I got to tell you, Dave's kind of a tough character. So I felt like this music matched the man. We're going to play this and we're going to bring Dave into the live show.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? So anyway, stop for lunch and we'll I'll catch up with you guys in just a few. Tell you the truth, I don't know.
Ooh. Well, Dave, gotta love Thailand. Welcome to the Saturday Live Show.
Well, thank you. You're a class act as always, but thank you very much for that deal. But I want to get two things out of the way right out of the gate. According to my wife, Pattaya is the correct pronunciation. And in true Baldy fashion, you are my Oprah. I mean,
well, let's check out the Pattaya pronunciation because Miley, she got it right.
Pattaya.
I think you're
so
good.
My wife
I think you're spot on. You're spot on, Dave. Awesome.
Yeah, you have to believe the Thai people since it is their language. So I try to lean that way. So
I always think it's funny when like people will comment on my previous videos like, no, you're saying it wrong. You're saying it weird. It's like, well, that's how they say it. So I'm pretty sure they're saying it right.
Yeah, I think so. For sure.
So it's such an honor to have you on the show, Dave. I'm so proud to have you on. I've been wanting to have you on for a while. You're on once before for the 1,000 subscribers, but thank you for coming on, man. You're a class act yourself.
Hey, I've been waiting patiently a couple of years, but but yeah, I'm glad to be here for sure. And everybody that's in the chat, just a bunch of support for my channel with all these people that are out there. And I thought, like, oh God, I hope I don't get embarrassed and there's going to be 3 people in the chat and poor Richard's going to kick me off in 30 seconds.
Yeah, God forbid I bring my own community into this live show.
They are a bunch of great people. Everybody that's in there are stand up, great supporters, great people. So
I think we share a similar community. I think you and we have like crossover a little bit as well. So I think that's always nice.
Think big time.
Yeah,
I think big for sure.
Wanted to welcome Go More Hike back. I haven't seen him for a couple weeks, so welcome back, Go More Hike. I'm glad this time worked out better for you. And a friend of yours, Dave, Mark in Thailand.
Yeah, Mark. Oh, you bet. Yeah, Mark's a class act for sure.
Robert N saying, "No, you got like a little fan club in here, Dave."
They're all a bunch of great people, like I said, man. I get to,
It's funny because like Chocolate Man in Thailand was in that video, a little video cameo. He was like, he's ready to go. And it just seemed like a fun time. That whole trip seemed like
I'm hoping that we can do it again. I know that a couple people weren't really enjoying the 2 wheels, and it is. I mean, it's dangerous out there. You could die in an instant. And I just have to have wind in my face. So I'm hoping that we get at least. I know T will, and probably 3 or 4, at least 5, 6 people, and do it again next year. I hope. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it looked like great fun. Looks really fun. And you went down some crazy roads there at the end of that intro, like a crazy dirt road. Man, no.
Yeah, there was. We didn't push the limits too bad, but it's a little intimidating when you're in some of the traffic here in Thailand. You don't know what people are going to do. And I've been doing this since I was 14. But a lot of people that are just starting out, so they could be intimidated. I could see it, and you shouldn't do it if you're not comfortable. But thank you, Chuck. Chuck had a nice thing to say.
Yeah, he sure did. And so you said something interesting there, Dave. I wanted to kind of key on. You've been doing this since 14. I want to kind of take you back a little bit. I want to say hello to Fern.
Sure.
So hi, Fern. Thank you, Fern, coming in. So I wanted to take you back a little bit because you and I kind of grew up in similar neck of the woods. I won't say we were close, but I was in the South Bay and you were kind of in the Central Valley growing up there. And wanted to kind of take you back to when you were in America, still living the dream, running the rat race. And you had the vision of like, hey, listen, so I want to go somewhere out of the country. I want to go to Costa Rica. And you were married to your wife in America. And you were sort of talking to her about, hey, do you want to go with me to Costa Rica? Like, I feel like this is someplace I want to go. And I don't want to tell the whole story because I think you do a great job of telling it. But let me know what she thought of that idea, Costa Rica.
It My wife had every third world country in her mind, Thailand, Costa Rica, and any place was a third world country. You went to the bathroom in the streets. There were animals running crazy around, and it took me a long time to convince her. And at that point, I hadn't quite convinced her, and I was going through, what do you call it?
Midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis. Yeah, bought a cabriolet Porsche, and was having fun. Enjoyed it. It was a great car, and I said, I'm going to go. You want to come? No. And I spent 8 months there, and it was good for me. You know, it was a bummer when you think about when I thought about it later, because that's 8 months that I could have spent, with my wife, because she ended up passing away. But, I needed some clarity. So I stayed there in a very nice place. It was 6,000 square foot, 5-bedroom, 5-bath on the side of the hill in Hermosa, overlooking the ocean. It was gorgeous, contemporary. What do you call it? The pool, endless pool, or whatever.
Oh,
it is.
yeah, infinity pool. I think they
infinity
call that,
pool,
right?
And then it had big fountains that came out of the end. It was definitely I'm going to say a $2.5 million home in Costa Rica.
Man.
So here it would have been a lot more. And I stayed there for about 6 months, and then 2 months I went to a condo in another part of Costa Rica. But I had a good time, and then it was time to come home and face reality again.
Yeah, what was that like, Dave? Like you spent a lot of time in Costa Rica, like beautiful country. Then you come back home. Did you have a little bit of the blues? Were you thinking like,
well, no, I knew at that point that I didn't want to be in the U.S., so I wanted to go somewhere. So I had met some people there about Thailand. A friend that I had made there, his friend came to visit him for 2 weeks in Costa Rica, and he was from Bangkok, and he'd been in Bangkok for 2 or 3 years, and he caught my ear, and I said, yeah. He said, you'd love it if you like it here. So I said, okay. So I tried talking to my wife years, that was 2015. By 2017, I had her talked into going for at least a 3-week, month or so little trial to see what it was like. And then she got diagnosed with leukemia, and that story ended the way a lot of them do. So it was a bummer.
That's really unfortunate, right? Do you feel like she was really bought in on the Thailand trip? Like she saw the vision that you were painting for her? Like she
was starting to say that she wanted. We had gotten closer since when I got back from Costa Rica, and not that we were ever that far apart, but we had drawn and knew exactly what we wanted, and we wanted to spend time with each other. So she was willing to say, okay, I'm going to go and make sure that people aren't in the streets, and can I leave in 2 days if I don't like it? I said, you bet. So she was giving in more. I want to spend time with my husband and together, So we were going to, and I wish she would have. I wish she could have. The last vacation we did was, I think, 2017 to Cancun for 10 days at a nice 5-star resort. It was a good thing. It was her birthday. It was in October, and it was a good little sending off. Got back the results and started the bone marrow transplant deal that no one should ever have to experience in their life, ever.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, Dave, do you look at your life and say, that's one of my regrets, is that I didn't travel more earlier on? Were you kind of a workaholic type of guy? You had your own business, so of course you're working a lot, but is that one of your regrets looking back on things?
Well, in the end, I was working for a union company for the last 7 years as a retirement type thing that I put myself into, a building engineer from HVAC. But I can remember back when I was a kid, we went to Bass Lake, where my house is that I just sold. We went there for 2 weeks or 3 weeks every year. And I looked at my uncles and I'm going, is this it? Is this what, as a 15-year-old or 14-year-old, is this what life has to offer? You guys are going to work until you're like 90 for 3 weeks a year? It doesn't sound right. Doesn't compute. So I knew I wanted to retire early, and I got to retire at about 50. And I knew so I did. I worked a lot, saved money, and didn't do as much traveling. But I want to say I did as much as the normal,
Gotcha.
the norm,
Okay.
But no, but it was all thriving to get to get out and go. And like I said, I'm the luckiest man in the world. The way that my life had ended, if you would have told me 4 years ago, I would have said, "Oh, you're full of crap." There's no way
I want to
that
fast
I'm
forward to
gonna
that because I think it's a great story, and I know you've told that on Thai Girl Gift and Foreigner Joe's channel about your story. So I wanted to kind of go through it again because unfortunately your wife did pass away, had the best medical care at Stanford Hospital, right?
Yes.
And then after she passed away, you're sitting at home thinking, "What do I want to do?" Like in this big house, you're sitting there thinking, "What do I want to do?" And top of your mind was, "Let's get out, go to Thailand, right?
Yeah,
Get out of here."
Yeah. My biggest problem was a lot of people. I thought, when I got there, I would feel uncomfortable, this kind of thing, and it wasn't that way. And I don't know what I believe in religiously, but I believe there's something, and I believe my wife was around there, and I felt comfortable. My problem was I don't sleep well. I wake up 10, 15 times a night, and for a split second, every time that I woke up in the house, I was like, oh no, she's dead. And that freaked me out. So I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to go to Thailand for 2 weeks. Because of Thailand Rob, 20 Seconds in Thailand, I was watching his videos because I wanted to see Kamala, and I liked what I saw. So I went there, actually stayed in Surin Beach, which is right up on the outskirts of Kamala, and went there for 2 weeks, procured a place from January 1st. This was in the end of October, and went back home, sat at home for like 2 days and said, no, I'm not waiting until the 1st. So I scheduled a plane, 2 suitcases, a carry-on, and a backpack, and that's what I came from, and been here ever since 4 years ago. It'll be
I want to talk about that because I feel like pat on the back to you for the 2 suitcases thing. I always ask people that come over to Thailand and retire, relocate, how many suitcases. Some people say I brought like 5 or 6, but the good ones say like 2 suitcases, like 1 carry-on, a big bag, and a backpack or something. So good for you.
Right.
But there was a request from the chat. I don't want to eliminate this. So Life After Kids with Key Williams is asking if you could say ho, ho, ho one time.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho.
Does sound good, doesn't it?
I have a belly full of jelly too.
I'm still mad at you, Dave, because when I was 6 years old, I never got my Evel Knievel stunt cycle that I asked for, and it's your fault.
And I kept it from you because you were a mean child.
Well,
so I kept it.
I was a bully, mess around people. No, I was actually being bullied.
Good. Yeah, I would. It was something. When the biggest thing for Christmas for me is I still enjoy the time of year, but kids. I mean, it's not the same. You get little kids around, and man, that just brings me up 10 levels. Watching kids open presents, and like Chuck's going to experience, and everybody. I have a lot of people have given presents and stuff to the schools and stuff like that. There's nothing, no matter what time of year. It definitely brings a bunch of joy to me, and I know it does to Chuck and for everybody that does it. I think it's the way it should be.
I think what's so interesting about your story, Dave, is like if we're hearing your story back, we're all rooting for you. Like, well, your wife unfortunately passed away. You decided, hey, listen, I'm going to move from America to Thailand. But that's when I feel like the story gets really interesting, because it wasn't just like rainbows and waterfalls for you. Like you fell ill pretty immediately. And you spent about, am I right, 2 or 3 months in the hospital?
2 months, 2 months in ICU and a month in a private room. So 3 months total. 2 months in ICU. And
so tell us about
January
that. That was a pneumonia
1st.
thing, right? You came down with pneumonia right to the hospital.
It's just going to be 3 years on the 1st. It was 2019, and me being an idiot, 3 packs a day. And my wife, thank God, or my girlfriend at the time, said, you can't breathe. And I'm like this. And she's going to go to the hospital. I said, okay, 1 minute. Let me just go out and smoke one more cigarette. And I couldn't, coughing. And she dropped me off. She went around the corner. I walked up the ramp. That's the last I remember. I woke up in ICU with a tube down my throat and was there for 2 months. And the woman, she's fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough good things about her. But, I mean, she even had, people would normally been together 8 months, 7 months. They're saying, hey, do you have his money? No, I don't know how to I don't know how to. Just leave him. Go find somebody else. And my wife was there 3 times a day, worked for the government. Before She went to work lunchtime and after, there the whole time holding my hand, saying, be strong, be this and that, and the family, the kids, her mother, her father, now my in-laws. I'm just the luckiest man on the planet, but it wasn't easy. And then
No.
you don't realize by laying down and not moving for 3 months, you lose all your muscle. I couldn't walk. I could barely roll over, in the bed, and I lost, which I wish I would have kept on. I lost 40 kilo while I was in there, and I need to lose 30 or so. That's a whole.
That's for everyone that's on the pounds thing. That's about 450 pounds, right, Dave? If I do conversions. No.
What's that? 80 something
40
pounds.
kilos, about 450 pounds, if I got it right. I think that's how much. That's great.
It was, yeah. And I looked at, and I was like, I look at some of the pictures my wife took and stuff when me in there, and I'm going, if I would have been walking through ICU, I would have looked over at me and said, oh, that guy's dead. And my doctor even said, every morning I came in the beginning, if they would have told me that you had passed away, I would have said, okay, yeah. It was going to either go one way or the other. And I guess I died a few times. And the doctors over there, top notch in the private hospital in Surin, saved my life numerous times, never treated me, just as good a care in Surin private hospital that I could have got anywhere on the planet. And,
I think so. First of all, thank you, Mojo, for the $5 for Dave's wife. So Dave, just fly out here to America, pick it up. I'll give it to you. No problem.
Joe's the best, man.
One thing that people don't know about your stay in the hospital, and you told this to me a couple of days ago, was the fact they had to put the breathing device down your throat, and you didn't like that. You were trying to pull it out, so they had to heavily sedate you. So essentially, for 2 months, you were out.
Yeah, if that I remember, the 2 months is basically the last 2 weeks, and it couldn't have been any more time than that because it is major anxiety. When you have that thing done, if you when they roll you over to either give you a sponge bath or to whatever, you're breathing, you don't feel like you're getting enough air, and so constantly like that. If it would have went any longer, I would have I don't know what I would have done, but I pulled it out, I guess, a couple of times, and I remember it because I remember the nurses clapping, and I remember the screaming, yelling, doctors, stuff around me, and putting the tube back in, and basically I had stopped breathing, obviously, and then them all clapping afterwards. And I had two of the best doctors, respiratory and heart doctor, were top notch.
Yeah, I think
because a lot of people
there. Kind of speaking to your girlfriend at the time, your wife now, you were there like on a visa, but you were you're out cold, and she helped take care of your visa situation, took pictures of you at the hospital, had the doctor write a letter to go to immigration. She took care of all your immigration stuff while you're out.
We were in the middle or end of my visa, my retirement visa. And they don't normally do that, do anything like that. And she handled it all. The doctor, you're not even supposed to take pictures in ICU. And the doctor let her take pictures. He wrote a letter. The nurse wrote a letter, and she handled it. And she, this poor woman, she had no idea. I mean, we don't been together, like I said, 7 or 8 months, something like that. She didn't know my bank account. She didn't have access to anything. She just, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, because the hospital was saying, I don't know if everybody knows, in Thailand, when you go into someplace like that, you pay every day. And when you come into ICU, there's the nurses and a nurse there that takes care of all the financials. If you haven't paid for the day before, you don't see your loved one. If you don't pay a few times, your loved one gets shipped to the government hospital, which isn't horrible. The problem is, they told my wife, if your husband gets transferred, he will die, because the government ambulance's oxygen is horrible, and he'll die on the way to the government hospital. So now she's panicking, and luckily she had used my phone to do a two-way thing. She was recording for TOT, which is where she works, and a phone answering, dial number 6 if you want this, and she wanted to record it. So she remembered my number to get into my phone, whatever password, and then she went on my Facebook, contacted one of my cousins, my brother, and a bunch of other people, and then they put it all together and sent money and got in contact with her, everything. But it was $1 million baht, just so in case there's people out there and you think you're going to come here and not have insurance, something like that happens, $1 million baht. Cost me $1 million baht to not be insured. And so I, get insurance if you're going to come here. So it's what
I think that's something to really be serious about, because maybe you're coming over for vacation. You're thinking, oh, maybe my travel insurance will be fine. But you had told me, like, didn't you actually have that, but it ran out? Like the coverage ran out?
Yeah, what it was, my coverage would cover me. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3. It wasn't the whole time that I was here, but it was 2 months. Anything that happened to me, they would reimburse me if I paid for it. But I discontinued that insurance, and then came here, and I was planning on, anybody that knows me, just a little bit of a procrastinator. So I didn't get it done, and it cost me $1 million baht. So thank God I have now my wife through the government and all that kind of stuff. So it worked out, to do it.
Yeah, and I feel like, so when you came to, you realized she had taken care of all your immigration stuff. You were good as gold, and you decided, like, this is the woman I want to be with. You ended up getting married a little while, short time later, and you're together now in Surin. Beautiful house that you've actually built in Surin.
Yes,
that's where her family is, right?
Yeah, they live with us too. Yeah.
So I got to tell you, so that's what I love about your channel, Dave. And for those that might be new to Got to Love Thailand, he does some great live streams a couple times a week, but then also these great videos. I call them in real life videos about his life. And he built a house from scratch, a koi pond, a pool recently. I love those pool tiles, by the way. Beautiful.
Yeah, I like it too.
So, and I feel like you've really settled into kind of living your best life now, Dave. Is that how you feel?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, other than I couldn't have orchestrated my life going any better. Don't want to say when I came over totally depressed, just lost my wife maybe 6 months or 4 months before I got here. Wasn't that I wanted to kill myself or anything, but I didn't care about living. Drive the scooter all the way on the edge. Hey, if I get hit, I get hit. Not a big deal. I'm 62. I've done just about everything that I possibly could. It was, like I said, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. No. But it was, do I care whether I live or die? No, not really. Doesn't 62. I've had a good run, And then I realized that's why I'm trying to get the channel. I don't think the channel is going to ever be that big. It just hit 1,900 subscribers. But the people that have uncles, aunts, grandfathers, whatever, sitting on a couch at 65 years old, wherever they are in the United States or the UK or Australia, come on. I did it. I'm living proof that you can love another person, even when you've been with one for 30 years. And do I not? I never stopped loving my wife. I never will. And luckily, I've got a Thai lady that understands that, thinks that she's her guardian angel and mine, and there's no jealousy whatsoever. So it makes it nice.
I feel like that's a wonderful thing you said, because I actually forgot to mention that. So when you're in the ICU, your girlfriend, now wife, was praying every day. And so tell us that story. Yeah, to your wife.
She said that what it was, and what it is that because I didn't have anything written on paper saying, this is my girlfriend, she can have all the information. She couldn't get any information out of the people. Okay, so when she came there, because she wasn't my wife or my sister or my aunt or whatever related to me, she couldn't get much. So every night she went home, she cried, because she goes, they won't even notify me if he dies in the middle of the night. Then she'd cry in the morning. She'd pray to my wife, the one that is on my arm, that you can barely see. Mm-hmm. Anyway, please don't let him die. Whatever you can do, please. And then she'd get up in the morning, start crying again, because now she's got a nightmare, getting ready, driving to the hospital, walking into the hospital. Is he alive? Is he alive? He's alive. Okay, he's alive. She could breathe for that one day. Next day, same freaking thing, And the woman went through and holding my hand, telling me to be strong, because I've never, my whole life, I thought I was indestructible. I could do everything. I could do everything. Such a humbling deal, lying in a bed and not being able to move, made me think, oh, you know what? You can die. You're not indestructible. And but now I have a life. I've got a wife. I've got 2 children, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law. and I'm loving life. It's great.
I think it's a very inspiring story, Dave. I mean, it really is, at least for me. I mean, I know that others in the chat are saying the same thing. Amazing story, and it is. And I feel like, so you're living your best life in Thailand. You started up a YouTube channel. You got over 1,000 subscribers. You're vlogging. You're doing a great job. I wanted to kind of transition. I wanted to transition the conversation into what I call the tech corner. Let's talk about Dave and his videos. So, what's in your bag? What are you working on?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, for the most part, like if anybody asks me what they should have, and you want to start a YouTube channel, get a good phone, and you're done. You can do all your editing on your phone. You can do everything with your phone. Me, I wanted to play around. I come from a heavy background of photography and film stuff mostly. But I've got an M2, I think it is, 3 mirrorless. I don't use that much on a big gimbal. Most of my stuff is on my GoPro 9. When I travel and when I do my live streams, I have 2 of these USB mics that work perfect. And that's about it on the tech. I'd like to use the mirrorless a lot more.
Yeah.
I think it's a better, because like when we went on the dinner cruise, even with the phone, because I don't use my phone, when we were on the dinner cruise, everybody else could sit there and zoom in on the side of the river and the houses and everything and the businesses. The GoPro, you don't have that option, and that kind of is not that I don't. I like the GoPro. It's easy, convenient. You can on you pretty much all the time. Although I don't. I mean, we went out with Jam, with Jim and Meow for dinner last night, and forgot the camera, didn't film anything on the thing. So I'm just not a very good vlogger. I wish that I could get better, and I hope that I do get better. I want to start doing different things, so we'll see how it is.
Yeah. Now, do you enjoy the video editing? Do you like going heads down?
Yeah, I like doing that. I like doing that. That I enjoy. I don't know if I'm really good at it. You use a program
that I'm not familiar with. I think it's called Movavi Video Editor.
Yeah, Movavi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and I found that by, I don't know, accident, but I'm one of those people that aren't very techy. And when I can work something, I don't want to change. That's why I use StreamYard. That's why I use that editor. I mean, because I also have, what's the one on the phone that you started using?
iMovie.
iMovie. No, the other one, not
Final Cut Pro.
No, it's just.
I started out with iMovie, and that's what I used. Then I moved over to iMovie on the laptop. Then Final Cut.
There's
Pro.
There's one little one, and I can't remember it now. It's going to drive me nuts, so I'm going to go look for it because it's a good little program, and it actually you can use it on your phone, and they do have a Power Director. Power Director, yeah, and it's a decent editor. And that's what I used in the beginning, but it's got the watermark, and then I paid for it. But the one that I've got, is it great? I don't know. Never used any of the other ones, but I'd like to get a little more creative if I could.
It's so funny. Not to bust Greeny Travels up. I remember watching one of his early videos where he didn't know how to take the title out, so it actually showed a part of the video where it said "Insert title here." That played for about 5 seconds. I felt so bad for
that's something. That's something I would do. That's something I would do. Yeah. But I consider myself the luckiest man in the world. I'm not the biggest tech guy, and I have to thank Gift and Joe because they're the ones that kind of said, "Oh, if you want to, you should do that." And I said, "I don't like looking at this," And he said, "Just stay behind it and talk," because the original ones that I did were just for family, where I went on vacation, the hotel. Showing breakfast, showing the view, showing that. He just starts talking and then eventually turn it around and do it. And now you can't shut me up and I can ramble for hours and hours. And I have fun with it because otherwise all these people that are pretty much in the chat, I consider my friends, and I've met most of them. And what would I have if I didn't have YouTube and wouldn't have done that? I'd have been sitting in Surin, had a great life, but I'm not one to go out and start hitting the local coffee shops and doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So for those that don't know, if you go to Dave's live stream, the intro that plays at the beginning is actually an intro that I created for him. So I wanted to do that for him. And the funny story about that is I told Dave I was going to do another one for him because I was kind of getting tired of seeing that. and Dave kept playing it. Like, to his credit,
I
like,
love
wouldn't
it.
take it off, kept playing it.
I
And
love
so
it.
the intro I did today, Dave, I'm going to provide that to you via G Drive. You can keep that. You can update your intro. That's under the file size for StreamYard, so you can play that on there.
Okay.
And that's
Thank
my
you very
gift to you,
much.
man. I'll strip the
Thank
music
you
out so
very
you can use
much.
your own or not. I know you had some copyright issues with the last one. So I'll strip
Yeah,
the music out so you can.
it was
use
pretty
it.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
my pleasure.
I love that. I love that intro and that outro, both of them that you did. And Richard had sent it with music, which I liked. Do I like the music I put to it? Yeah, I kind of like
Yeah.
it better.
Yeah.
But it's catchy. I don't know. I enjoy watching it start the live stream. So I appreciate that though, and maybe I'll change it. I'll leave it up to everybody if they're sick and tired of watching.
I got to
the
tell you,
intro.
like, music is so personal. Like, I feel like it's personal
Yeah.
each person. That's why that's the biggest time suck for YouTube creators, is finding that perfect song. And
Right.
people that aren't in the YouTube world think you're crazy. Like, why is it taking so long? Just pick a song. They don't know how important it is when you find the right song. The video pops, you know? So yeah, totally. It's very personal.
And I still don't. I just learned. What's the name of the one that you guys all use?
I
What is
use
it called?
Epidemic, but I'm close to
Yeah.
moving over to like Artlist, because I know Alex Bam Bam uses that, and that's a pretty cool program too.
Yeah. See, I don't use any of those, and I need to, because all my music comes off that same editor, Modavi or.
Well, you know what you'll like about a separate audio program, Dave, is that you can see the full stream of the music, so you can tell like right away if it's going to be a fit. Like, I can't tell you, like, when I used to use the YouTube audio library, you have to listen.
Right.
With Stream or with Epidemic, you can see like the whole stream of the audio file, so you can see how it'll work or not.
I'm going to try one of them, and I'm going to do it now because we're going on a fishing trip. We're going to Phuket. I'm at Tim's T&W in Udon, who's a YouTuber. He built this house they're looking at blurred behind me, and a pool. And if you guys aren't familiar with them, you should watch it if you're interested in house builds. We're going to fly out tomorrow to Phuket, and we're going to go ocean fishing and come back. And I'm going to actually try to put together a real vlog. So maybe I'll use the correct music, but it should be fun. And it's a subscriber that's got his relatives have the boat and have offered to have us come, and it should be a bunch of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. So.
Going Gray says finding the perfect song and then cutting the footage on the right beat, so frustrating. Yeah, or you can really get into it. I think like it's just kind of a time suck. You know, if you change one thing at the end, then you got to change everything. It's just a little nutty. But some people like it, and I'm amazed, Dave, how many YouTube creators I talk to that actually don't enjoy editing. I've talked to a couple. I won't name them, shame them, but I'll say like I've talked to some.
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
I'm glad you do.
Like I said, I've really been, most of the stuff that I've shot in the past have been large format, 4 by 5, 5 by 7, 8 by 10, even black and white. And I had 3, 4, 5 enlargers in my basement up in the Sierras. I was real close to Yosemite National Park, so I took a lot of landscape stuff, and I enjoyed it. And I've still got some 200, and I think I have a couple of 4 by 5s and lenses and stuff still back in. See, now I kind of got lucky by selling my house to my nephew. I built a 8 by 60 with 18-foot eve metal building. He took all my wife's stuff, all my stuff, put it in the corner there. I didn't have to come home. I didn't have to go through her stuff. I did, but I didn't have to pack it all up and do it. He did it for me, so it made life a lot easier.
So let me ask you this: the one question I do have for you, watching all your videos, is that I don't know if I could do that, Dave. If I could come out there and build a house from scratch in my retirement, I feel like I just want to show up and move in. Looking back on it, is it something you would do again, or would you say I don't recommend this? It's too stressful.
No, it was because you have to understand what Thai builders and Thai workers and how they work differently from. I was in construction my whole life, and you don't bitch, moan, and complain at people. It just isn't accepted here in Thailand. And I mean, you mean if they're doing something wrong and I can't yell at them? No, you can't. And I'm talking to my wife, and so it was a little frustrating. I built mine through the virus, which made it tougher. Steel prices, Joe went through the same thing. Steel prices doubled, tripled, so it was a little bit, but would I do it again? Yeah, because like with Joe, I'm sure it's the same thing. me and my wife designed our house, bottom to top on a napkin, brought it to him, had him draw it, had him redraw it, had him redraw it again, and we got exactly what we're gonna, we wanted. So for
now,
that,
I got to tell you,
yeah.
So that's nice to hear, because I was always interested about that, like if you would do it again. But you mentioned Foreigner Joe, Thai Girl Gift, and Foreigner Joe. I got to tell you, am I the only one that almost gets a heart attack looking at the titles of his videos? Like, I better get my finances in order. It's the day has come. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on with Joe? Literally, he's got to stop with the clickbait, man. Him and Chuck, come on, enough. Just title it like the video it is.
Yeah, but all their stuff, it's fun stuff. I enjoy it because I like this, and I know you're half kidding.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy it. I enjoy watching them. I watch Chuck's videos every morning. He's one of the ones that I probably pretty much watch religiously because he puts his videos out when I get up 5:30 a.m. So I can go and I can relax. I can have my coffee. I can watch his videos and that. But Joe, I watch it gets tougher and tougher to answer people. I get behind. I've only got 1,900 subscribers behind on comments, and I try to answer them all because I'm still at the stage where I can. But people like Chuck and even Joe and even James and a lot of people get angry. How come he doesn't answer me? How come he doesn't? You don't know what it's like, man. I was the same way. I mean, if I write to Chuck, 4 years ago and he didn't answer me, how come he didn't answer me? Well, you realize that if you start doing YouTube, it's not the easiest thing in the world when you've got 400 comments.
I'm just happy if I get like a heart from Joe when I comment on one of his videos because he's got like thousands of comments. I get the heart. I'm excited. I got the heart.
If you watch, if you watch a lot, I think most of them will do that. I know James will, I know Joe will, and I know Chuck will. And just to do that is a big deal when you're trying. And see, Joe has got a bunch of people on him. I don't care, so it doesn't matter to me. In fact, I know Joe, he looks through every one of those comments, and they don't go into comments until he approves them. See, I don't do that, although everybody tells me I should. But if it's in there, then I just peck it out. I don't think James does that, and I don't know if Chuck does, but I know Joe does religiously. Yeah. So every comment has to go through him and clicked OK and gone up.
Yeah, I've been friends with a couple of YouTube creators that do that, and it is actually more of a chore. It's like that's your homework for the video is going in. But I will tell you, like Rights for Kicks has told me, like, you got 1 hour. Like, I'll respond to the comments in the first hour because this guy's getting thousands of comments, not just on the one video he's posting, but all the previous videos. You got 500 videos up there. So I can't imagine what that would be like especially with Joe, because all those videos are being viewed. It must just be.
See, I want to say the normal for me is like maybe around 30, 20 to 40 comments. And it's hard to keep up with those. And what's really weird, I've got one video that's got like 22,000 views, and it's the work that I did on my Forza. And I still get 600 to 1,000 views every month to this day, and I don't know why, it's a good picture because I never, I don't spend as much time, I guess, as I should on the what do they call them? The little, whatever you call that deal. The what do you call that?
I don't know.
The little that you get clickbait, the little picture you put up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The thumbnail. Yeah. Thumbnail.
Fingernail. Yeah, it was close. Yeah. Fingernail. So I don't spend that much time on. Probably should spend more. But that picture, for some reason, the angle that it's at of the bike and the bags that are on it and everything, I even like it. So I'm imagining that's why people.
Yeah, when I did the thumbnail for this show, Dave, I got a copyright claim. I guess they don't like your picture or something. Like,
oh, really?
Copyright claim from the North Pole, something like that. Like infringing on the rights.
They're always looking for money up there. They're always looking for money.
Such a bad joke. Such a bad joke. Oh, it's so interesting. I mean, your story is interesting because I feel like you went through so much and now you're living such a great life. You definitely have a big appreciation of it, huh?
Yeah, it's like that's the biggest thing that I wanted. Like I said, the channel, the direction. Besides, we just sit around and we talk about Thailand mostly on the live streams, but we'll talk about anything. Who's got surgeries coming up? It's like a bunch of people like sitting around. Yeah, we're having a good time. There's usually, I want to say, between right around 30, people every time on the live stream, and we just have fun. And until that's not fun anymore, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
But you know, I have a good time doing that. So
I mean, I think so. For me, I tell you, it's a mixed bag. To be perfectly honest with you, if I look back at like my YouTube experience, what I've been doing this almost 3 years now, I will tell you, like I've had the toughest of times. Like some of my worst experiences in my life have been regarding YouTube stuff. But I'll tell you, some of the most rewarding stuff, like the best friends I've met, have been on YouTube. Great contacts.
I agree.
People that have reached out that have actually surprised me to help support the channel. People that came on early to help, you know. And it's just amazing. Like when Foreigner Joe came on, Chuck, I mean, those guys, that was key. It was clutch for me to kind of grow the channel. And I was just so impressed by how willing they're willing to help and help out. Right. But
good people.
I guess you gotta take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's amazing because 100% of the people that I've met so far, and a lot of them I haven't met and I will meet in the future. One of them being Robert Mack. And Robert been talking back and forth for a long time. And he's here now. So, you know, they're 100%. They're exactly what you see them on my channel coming on the deal. They're exactly the same. And I'm hoping that, I said this before, that when people meet me, they're going, yeah, that Dave, he's exactly what you see is what you get. And that's what I want. I just don't want no people that, you know, are fake or whatever. And we have everybody that I've met are great people. And like that dinner cruise and getting invited to go to Chuck's and eating with everybody. And I hadn't met Daz before, so I got to meet Daz actually at a meetup before that, but great guy. And a lot of you know, it's just fun. You know, I got to go there, got to have a good time. And that's what life's all about. Surrounding surrounding yourself with good people. I found out is the real key.
I feel like that's clutch, man. I mean, like you said some great things there. And I think one of the things that's difficult for me, I got to tell you, if I'm being totally honest, there are some guests that I have on the show. I'm a little nervous. Like these are like my idols. These are people I've been listening to for years. I won't say who they are. I don't even feel weird and creepy.
You feel that way with me?
No, I guess, very funny. But I guess my question for you is like, what's it like meeting these people that you've been watching for years? Like when you first met Chuck, No Time to Be Sad, Joe, what was it like? A little starstruck?
They treated me like secondhand citizen. I felt like, you know, they're going, he's just a little, what has he got?
That's what I've heard about
flea. He's like a flea. A lot of there have been questions that have been brought up about that, and
we won't go
except that they didn't give me care, didn't treat me any different than they would have treated anybody else that walked up, and that's the way it should be. That's my biggest thing. I don't want anybody to think that they're better than me. I put my pants on one leg at a time. So does everybody else. You treat people like that, and it seems like it works out. And everybody, Chuck or Joe, and Chuck's got what, 70,000 subscribers, and he'll actually call me up and say, "Are you doing a live stream tomorrow? I'm thinking about doing a live stream. You know, I don't want to step on you." And here's a guy that shouldn't care, you know, and he does because that's the kind of a guy he is. And Joe's the same way. They all are. Like, look at today. You sent him a deal and asked him because he would have went 2-3 hours. That's what he does.
Yeah. And so just I want to get that on the open because that's like actually a big ask that I did of Joe. So I messaged Joe, and I know like Joe doesn't have his notifications on Facebook Messenger. So I went to the live stream. I'm like, hey, I'm looking forward to interviewing Dave at the hour. Kind of hint, like I got Dave coming on. Can you wrap yours up? And he's such a gentleman though. Like he didn't say like, you know, forget you, I'm doing my own thing here. He's like, yeah, we'll wrap it up and I'll come on over and watch. Like that kind of stuff is just so nice, man. Like good people.
And what do you know, and you're talking about this platform that gets its good and bad stuff said about it, YouTube. But you know, for the most part, man, I wouldn't have any of this here. Like I said, I'd be sitting in Surin going, do I want to go down to the coffee shop and meet somebody I don't know if I'll like or not or whatever. And it's fun. I get to go to Pattaya. I get to meet, you know, luckily I hooked up with Mitch from the very beginning. He came on a lot of the live streams, just a stand-up guy there too. Everybody, Tom, that you're going to have on. I don't know why you keep having them on. They really aggravate me.
Those guys are awesome.
Just kidding. They are. I like them
so
both.
Funny. I wasn't going to profile this. I saw this from James. I was just like purposely not going to profile it because like I'm a big YouTuber. I get ignored in the chat all the time. I was like, I just had to throw it up there. Hey, James, I always see all the comments, man. I see it.
James is a good man too. It is, and James has given me a lot of good advice about not getting aggravated by some of these. My wife calls barking dogs, and it's helped me. And it's true. You got to just kind of shrug it off and move on. And that's what I've done. But James is good, good guy. Joe, and of course, Gift, all just great people. The only thing that I want to do it, I didn't get a chance to meet Kara. I was hoping that I was going to be able to jump over, but I'm sure I will in the future here. And I'm going to go back and you'll be able to see something that'll probably be on the most funny videos. Is I might go golfing with Chuck. We talked about it before I left. I'll go back there and I like that ride on the Forza, even though they don't understand yet. I mean, my windshield goes up on my Forza. I ride with the thing down because I want that. I want that wind in my face. I'm a two-wheel guy. Have been, always will be. If I'm 90 years old and I can crawl on something and ride, I'll be on it and riding. So
it's such a great attitude, Dave. I really think it's great. I think your wife's probably looking down on you, really happy with the way you've chose to live your life. That's great. It's very inspirational.
I think so too. Thank you.
So I want to kind of wrap things up here. I can't believe how quickly 45 minutes went. This feels like we've been talking for 5 minutes. I knew it was going to be like.
Oh, I thought we were going to do 4 segments of 45 minutes because I got to ramble here soon. I mean, I didn't get to ramble at all.
Yeah, you keep talking. We'll put you in the green room. Just pretend you're still on live on the air.
But I appreciate it, Richard. Like I said, I've waited a long time. We've kidded back and forth. I really like Richard. Don't know why, but I'm looking forward to meeting him when he does end up here in Thailand. And I hope everybody supports him, which I know that they do. And he's a good man.
Well, I appreciate your time today, Dave. It was an honor having you on the show. It really was. And thank you for bringing your amazing community to the show as well. It's nice seeing everyone in the chat. Yeah,
they're great. Aren't they? Awesome.
Great. Well, have a good rest of your day. I guess I can say that now because it's actually in the morning, your time.
All right. Do I have to? Can I turn off and leave so I don't have to watch the Eat Out Pattaya guys again? That Tom and
you're going to piss them off now.
I will be right here, guys. They're the best. If you guys aren't subscribed, subscribe to Eat Out Pattaya, and good guys.
All right, Dave. I'll see you on your live show in a day or two. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, you bet. Thanks for having me. Bye. Morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? So anyway, stop for lunch and go. I'll catch up with you guys in just a few. Tell you the truth, I don't know.
So awesome having Dave on the show. Just great sense of humor and great inspirational story as well. I wanted to really spend some time kind of double clicking into that and just really kind of getting that out for all to hear. So thank you, Dave, for making time to come on the show. You're a class act, man. Really appreciate your friendship and support. So guess what? Vlogger news time. Get to talk about the currency exchange rate and some great vloggers. Got some new ones we're profiling today. Some ones that I kind of found and got referred to me by my awesome team of moderators. So we got a new vlogger news intro to play for you today. Got all new videos today, guys. Taking it up a notch. Got crazy background with these crazy YouTube pillows. You see these YouTube pillows? Yeah, they just came about an hour ago. Next day air. Just in time for the show. So excited about that. So let's play the vlogger news intro and let's get these crazy guys into the live show.
Hey Richard, good to see you tonight. Coming at you live from Bon Chog, Thailand at the Hideaway Resort. Christmas celebration. And this is Vlogger News.
Add it up.
So guys, it's Vlogger News time.
I'm glad I'm on top this week. If we keep going with these restaurants, the next channel is going to be my 600-pound life. I mean, it's getting bad.
Oh, I'd subscribe to that. That sounds like a good channel.
So, I mean, you can't expect too much out of us.
Add it up.
Tom and Ryan, welcome back to the Saturday Live Show. And guess who's on the bottom?
Yeah, well, are we live yet? I haven't put on pants yet. It's still early in the morning for me.
Yeah, 11 a.m. is too early. Okay, we got a problem there.
Yeah, or I've got a problem. I don't know. Staying up late watching all that OnlyFans content.
That's great. See, we always got to cross the line at some point. Now it's just been crossed. Thanks, everybody. There you go. Demonetized again.
Yeah,
Fourth week in a row.
At least Tom's not doing his recreational hobbies on this channel.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, we don't have the TV in the background playing a football game. I'll get copyright claimed on.
I wasn't talking about that recreational hobby.
Oh, yeah. I was actually on your live stream where that was happening, Mr. Edible.
More like smokable.
Uh-oh. Let's see, Tom. Let's do an audio check. I think you're muted. You can now unmute yourself. You're on the show.
It's early for Tom, too.
Hi, chaps.
Hello.
Yeah.
So glad to have you guys back because your channel's doing well and you went to my favorite place this week. It is the salad bar at Sizzler at the Central Festival. Now, I got to clear this up, you guys. So you've been living in Pattaya for a while. Yeah. What's the proper pronunciation of Central Festival? Is it Centan or how do the Thais say that? They say it a little differently. Festival. Yeah, but if you ask the motorbike guy that, he doesn't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's the same thing as like when you ask to do a scan at a restaurant. It's not scan, it's scan, or something. So you got to hit the syllables, but it's like Central or however they say it. We just say Central or, the mall over there. So,
yeah. So I had a condo in Jomtien. It was Vutele 5. And every time I got on the motorbike, I'd have to say it like the right way, almost like I was trying to fight the guy. Vutele, ha! Vutele, ha!
Well, it was yesterday. We're in a restaurant and Robert Mack ordered a Sprite, and he kept saying he wanted a Sprite. And finally, I piped up. I was like, Sprite, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
That's exactly it. Yeah, just different pronunciations. So that was a good video you guys did because people don't realize in Thailand, Sizzler is kind of like upper echelon, man, especially when it comes to the salad bar.
Well, the reason why we did that one is because you hear a debate. It's kind of like that old Taco Tico debate back home. Is it good? Is it bad? And you'll talk to somebody and they're like, oh, it's garbage. It's crap. And then Tom goes, because he had never been. And he's like, Ryan, that was great. Great salad bar. And I'm going, so you fall in the category of the thumbs up. All right. And I'm a thumbs up guy on it. I like it. It's not, it's not 5-star dining, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good value for money. Like you can get their little chicken combo with some rice or something like that for 300 baht. Sometimes 150. Is it still like 150? Yeah. Or has the price gone up?
What is it, Tom? 199 for the salad bar?
199 now.
Yeah.
And so I got to ask you guys. So there's two schools of thought here with the water situation in Thailand when you go to a bar or when you go to a restaurant. Sometimes you'll ask for water in a glass, and then other times you'll say water and you get the bottle of water. Different cost. Usually the glass with the water and it's free. The bottle of water is like 100 baht. What do you guys do? What's your game?
I order Coke Zero.
Yeah.
And I order bottle.
Things up.
Yeah. I order bottle wherever I am, whatever country, I order bottle.
Well, a lot of guys here, they order the water with the hops in it and the barley and the oats. So that's a good route to go. So I've heard
that before. Jesus, that's a little weird. So guys, I got some exciting vloggers to talk about. First of all, congratulations on your continued success of the channel. Eat Out Pattaya. I feel like you're doing well. Getting some traction. Views are picking up, right?
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, grow organically, be to 1,000 subs in about a year.
Yeah. We would say we'd buy subscribers, but both Tom and I are pretty broke, so we can't do that. So
yeah, why bother?
Our budget goes to the food, so we can't buy the subscribers.
Yeah,
I can't even buy
it is an option.
Shoes.
We just can't pull it off.
Yeah, we saw Cheap Charlie in Central Festival, and he had a pair of shoes, and he goes, "Oh, that's Cheap Charlie." I said, "Really?" I said, "He's got a pair of shoes. I don't own a pair of those."
Yeah, he's doing well. You've been on his live streams. Many cleans up with those super chats. Whew, man, that guy makes bank. Such a great guy. Yeah, very nice man too. He sent me some nice supportive emails too, by the way. But listen, I want to get to this list because I got a big list to go through. New vlogger spotlight. This guy just came across this guy from one end of Thailand, Heath Woodward. Yes. I guess he's an English author, playwright, and songwriter living in Jomtien. And one thing that I loved about Heath's YouTube channel, he has this kind of disclaimer where he says, He often records day-to-day scenes in Thailand, but he fully respects the privacy of others and never films families or children. I only video members of the public from a distance. Now, so that's a big thing for me. Like, that's pretty cool that he wrote that in there. What do you think about that? Like, that's a respectful guy, huh?
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys do that anyway. I think they're quite respectful anyway. You know, when you even when you see James walking around, he's very, very respectful of everybody, and so's everybody. You know, like on our channel, we don't really show a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't have to put a disclaimer that I'm not going to be a pervy peeping Tom. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that positive feedback on the channel.
No, I actually did my homework this week since you sent it to me early enough, and I watched some of the guys' videos.
That's a good.
All right.
He actually does a good job. What I like about his channel is he's giving out information on what he's doing since he just got here, and he's putting out all the, when you make the move. So it's fresh information and it's coming at you in real time. If Tom did it or other people did it, like, some of your bigger YouTubers, they can't do a moving to Thailand because they did it 4 years ago. And some of the information that they had 4 years ago isn't relevant today. Some of it is, some of it isn't. So when you get guys like this, they're doing up-to-date information.
Yeah,
so he's got a good channel. I am enjoying it. And he did the old
up-to-date
video and
information
everything.
is really important.
Right.
Really
right.
important.
Yeah. So I think the other vlogger spotlight I had today was this one that I just came across, Pete on Retreat. In 2021, Pete decided to sell 99% of his belongings, including his house and car, so he could spend the next decade traveling the world. So this guy basically was a Trader Joe's manager and decided like he's got enough discretionary income after selling his house to come and travel for 10 years. And he has a great video, How I Retired Before 50 and Moved to Thailand. I loved it, man. I actually watched it twice. It's great. Very inspirational story there. Like, guy gets it, right? Move earlier in life.
His story and my story parallel pretty good.
Yeah, tell me about that. We've never really talked about that. I want to have you guys back, by the way, for like a full chat session, because I feel like you have some interesting stories about how you arrived in Thailand, But tell us a little synopsis of what your story is there.
I sold my house, quit work on a Tuesday, signed the papers to my house on a Friday, and then the following Tuesday I was on a plane heading to Thailand, and that was over a year ago.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah. And they haven't banned you yet, so that's good.
No. In fact, they're getting close. They're getting real close.
I'll tell you, my one goal for these sessions with us is to get that Tom laugh. I always feel like I'm doing well if I get that serious laugh coming out. I don't know if we're going to get it today because it's too early for this guy.
It's too early for this guy.
That is true.
But Pete on Retreat, good new channel. I'm going to try to have that guy on. I actually sent him a comment, seeing if he wants to come on the show because, wow, with some great information there about how he moved. He's an American. I'm always loving having Americans on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
And
as you got the UK above me here.
Yeah.
We don't
a lot of
need
UK. Americans hate me. That's okay. That's all right. But I got to tell you, so I got a bone to pick with Greenie Travels. So really enjoyed his videos. This one's great. Delicious food in Singapore for dirt cheap. He hits up all the hawker stands in Singapore. Yes. And I kind of mentioned this to him in passing, so I don't feel bad mentioning it on the show today. Man, have you guys been noticing the fisheye lens that he's using? Like, it's a little distorted when you're watching it. I know he's doing it to make it more widescreen, but it's a little unsettling for me, only for me. Maybe I'm just too old.
I stopped watching his channel. I have to listen to it live, so I can't listen to the channel and listen to it live as well. So I'm surprised he's still vlogging. Yeah.
It's where he's using that Sony camera, I believe.
Those messages are coming in, Ryan, probably about 30 seconds from Greenie. Yeah, I don't know. I would just tell him, like, I don't know, man, that's such a good thing. Like, I think he thought the stabilization was going to be better on the camera because it is a little bit jerky watching the video. But, I love Greenie. He's a good friend of mine. So I feel like I can tell him that. Just the fisheye lens, it gets a little distorted on the outside. It's just a little unsettling.
Well, that's going to come when you're trying to improve. And Greenie's been improving. If you've looked at what he's done over the past, couple months, he's changing up equipment, buying new equipment, changing up the style and way he edits and shoots his shots. And you're going to get a few setbacks when you're trying new things. So he's, look at the quality he's put out in the last 2 months compared to before. It's night and day difference. So,
yeah. I'll tell you one thing I love about him is he's so comfortable in front of the camera. Like he's definitely found his voice there.
When I interviewed him on one of the videos, he was him, and there's a few of them, like Gator Jake was one, Gordon Tickle, and Greeny. It was like I just looked at them and said one word, and they just went right off, and it was like gold. And I was like, thank God, this is great.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Jam Life in Thailand. Thank you for taking time during your 30-minute break to watch the show. That's awesome. Like the best compliment I can have. That's so great. Chocolate Man in Thailand says he does his homework.
Hopefully you have them on. They're really interesting.
Anything else you're going to say there?
Sorry.
I'm looking for a break, man. I'm about ready to cough up a lung here. A little bit of help, guys.
Oh, no. You did it early in the morning.
Have Jam on. Jam is fantastic. Jim and Meow are fantastic people.
Yeah. So funny, guys. Like the one time I could use some help from friends, you guys are like,
no, I was going to let you drink here. I was wondering what you're doing over there. I was looking. I'm sitting there going, I'm sitting there going, what's he drinking? It's guys, 7:00 at night. So
I'm under these lights. I think my glasses are going to fog up here soon with these key lights. These things are so hot. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, once again, I spent $150 on an LED from Tucom, and you're spending what, a couple thousand?
It gets
go
expensive.
Cheap route, man. Cheap Charlie route. Cheap. Got to go cheap.
This is staying here. This is not going with me to Thailand. That's for damn sure. I'm not packing this up to carry on. No way. So what's next on the agenda for you guys? Any big restaurants you're going to that I would know?
It would be the Queen Victoria tomorrow for Christmas. We're going to be on Soy 6. We're having a Soy 6 Christmas. Even thinking about doing some Christmas caroling while we're there.
Turkey or ham? What's it going to be?
All the above, probably. I don't know. We're just, we're not going there for the food. It's Soy 6. So
yeah, great. Well, thanks for making it classy again. Great. Yeah.
What I always tell you,
look forward to that yellow dollar sign on the copyright there. That's going to be great.
What is it? Wasn't for low class, would have no class at all.
And Journeys with Mike and Nicole says, I sit next to my hardest critic, they say. Yeah. I'm looking forward to having them on the show at some point. We're going to try to work out schedules. They're going to be a fun group to have on. A couple of Americans. See, I love having the Americans on. It's going to be
great channel.
Yeah. Probably now no one from the UK is ever going to come on again and be like, screw that guy. Hates the UK. No, I love everyone. I love everyone. Oh, it's so great.
Well, you set your time. That's not good for the UK right now. They're not watching live.
I know. They're pissed. Yeah, they're pissed. Not happy. Well, but I pick up Australia.
Yeah, all three of them are going to be real upset.
It's actually 13 of them. 13 of them. Thank you. How dare you, sir?
All right.
They're probably so cold they're awake anyway. It's about -5 there. It's really cold for the UK. So they're all, it's not looking good in the UK at the moment. That's all.
So listen, Tom, since I got you here, I want to go through the currency exchange. I'm actually including the Canadian dollar here, and I want to show the cool little slide that you gave me because I have that as always. Thank you for sending that again, by the way. You're so clutch at sending that over.
Yeah, I send it over
my screen.
Yes. Yeah, I just have to get up early now, though, because of the time change.
Yeah, so tell me, what are you seeing here? So a little movement for the USD over the next 10 days. What's the long-term lookout for the USD?
I'm still very bullish on the US dollar. The world is in so much debt, it's out of control. The only thing to be in is US dollar. If I was in Canadian dollar at the moment, I'd wait for the next peak, and I'd actually try and get as many of my assets into the US dollar. The Canadian dollar could be in real trouble because their inflation rate compared to their Fed rate, they're so far behind the curve, they could end up going into hyperinflation.
Wow. Now, what are you thinking about the U.S. economy? You still thinking there's a lot of doom and gloom coming? I'm hearing January, February is really where the brunt of it's going to hit.
I think it's when the earnings start reporting to the markets that's going to be the shock, really. I think people are just protecting themselves and keeping themselves in cash, which is the wise place to be. So the best place to be at the moment is clear your debt and have as much cash as possible. I'd actually even carry some cash at home as well, because the way the banks are going, they're going to start stealing it.
Wow. Great. Well, that's a nice uplifting conversation on
No. It's good if you protect yourself, but you've got to protect yourself, So just look at your investments. Yeah, look at your investments. Look at your investments. Look at your 401. See where it's invested. And if your investment company has put all your investments, the top 5 investments, into just one company, you need to get a new financial advisor.
Yeah, well, do you see the US dollar surging again past 36 once it clears
Oh yeah,
up?
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt, because it's the debt levels in the world. They're out of control. Like Japan's in real trouble, Turkey's in real trouble. I'm putting some charts together for tomorrow night's show at the moment, and Turkey, wow. If you was in Turkey, if you bought i.e. gold 10 years ago in Turkey, you would have made a 14-fold profit on that today.
Wow. That's quite an increase.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I would say anyone that wants to know more information about that, like your channel is Thailand Digital Nomad, and you have a live stream every Sunday at 10 o'clock. BKK.
Yeah.
So you're on the military time.
It's all the same people.
Yeah, all the same people. I go up there. It's nice.
Yeah, I know.
Information.
What's funny is if people knew who was coming on to the show and who was in the chat, we'd probably have a lot more people, but I think it would lose kind of the, the nice intimate relationship that we've all built, and watching Tom and a few others and there's a reason why most of the videos aren't up on Monday and Tuesday, because they have to be taken down or get banned.
Oh, great.
So
Wow.
You've been around for it. I could see the look on your face like, oh yeah, this one's not staying up. Richard comes on the show and I could see his face and he's looking going, oh yeah. Why am I associated with this show? I'm going to get a copyright strike just coming on, or I'm going to get a community standard strike just being here.
Yeah, I feel like last week's live stream was so hilarious because Dave from Gotta Love Thailand. I'm testing out like different lighting setups and stuff, taking pictures down, putting new ones up.
We knew what he was doing.
Yeah. I said, Richard comes on the show just to test out his show and see how everything. He's like pre-interviewing Dave. You got Mitch running around filming naked ladies.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we were all riveted by that.
Yeah.
That was a great little bit. Did that video stay up, by the way? Did you have to take that down?
Yeah, I had to take it down.
Yeah, community standards violation. Of course. I called it. I called it, man.
Yeah.
I was the first one, so you might want to take this one down right away.
Chocolate Man saying experts. No, I'm not an expert and I'm not a financial advisor, James. If you follow me, you will be bankrupt. But
the only thing we're experts at is eating.
I do understand about microeconomics, and I understand about swing trading and technical trading very, very well. Yeah. I don't believe in Bitcoin. Even though I own one.
The only time that Tom's never been challenged on his expert level is when he claimed to be a foodie and a food judge, and everybody looked over and went, all right, we're not going to dispute that one. That looks about appropriately.
You don't get that for nothing.
Yeah.
That costs a lot of food.
So I want to thank you guys for like all the video submissions you're sending my way that I incorporated in the Vlogger News intro and outro. Thanks for that. I get a kick out of seeing those every week. It's so hilarious. You guys do a great job.
Oh, that's all Tom on that one. I'm too busy doing the other videos.
Yeah.
So someone's got to keep
so you don't take the compliment. That's fine. Okay. All
No.
right. It's fine. All right. Let's remove him from the show. Great. All right. No, thank you for that. And appreciate you guys coming on because it's so much fun to have you around. I appreciate going on your show as well. Thanks for letting me come on. It's a blast.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah. Well, great.
Almost
so
everyone.
I don't know what's going on next week for the show. I don't know if I'm doing a show next week because it's like New Year's Eve. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if I'll see you next week, but I'll be in touch with you this week and let you know what's happening with the show. But thanks for coming on again. It was a pleasure.
Cheers, Richard.
Keep up the great work.
Take care.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
20 seconds to Thailand, Rob. And that was the Vlogger News for this week's Richard Travel Vlog Live Show Stream Network. Was I on there?
Add it up.
Adios, people.
And that was the Richard Vlogger News. What the hell is it? Oh, yeah, that was that. It's over with, people. Pack it in. Let's take it home.
Okay, all right.
So much fun having them on the phone or on the live show. Really appreciate having them on. Great guys. Appreciate their feedback and also like hearing about the exchange rate as well. It's also a lot of fun. So I will tell you, I'm not sure if I'm having a show next week or not. So definitely check out the community tab of my YouTube channel. Nothing really specifically. It's just New Year's Eve. I'm not sure if I want to be I'm going to have time to do this during that time. So we'll see. Check out the community tab. I always post the link for the show a couple days before, so I'll know probably in a couple days what's going on. I appreciate that. And let's see, Jay-Z saying, yeah, okay. Bill Clock saying, good night, Richard. Merry Christmas to all of you. Appreciate that. And I will tell you, so I'm leaving you with a very interesting outro today. So don't go just yet, because I have a different outro that's coming your way. It's actually from my part 8, Richard Returns to Thailand video, Phuket. And it's actually the story of the Golden Buddha. So I put a lot of time and effort into this. I'd love for you guys to kind of watch this and give me your feedback in the chat as you're watching it. And until next time, I'll say bye, everybody. Several hundred years ago in Thailand, there was a temple called the Temple of the Golden Buddha. At this temple, there was a huge golden Buddha. Word had come down to the village where the monastery was that an army from a neighboring country was about to invade. The village got the brilliant idea to cover the golden Buddha with a stone casing so that the approaching army would perceive no value in it. Sure enough, this army rolled in with its weapons, and as they passed by the monastery, they saw nothing but a big stone Buddha, and they had no reason to pillage it. Years went by, and the army continued to occupy the village, until there was a time when nobody in the monastery or the village remembered that the Buddha was golden. Until one day a monk was kneeling down in front of the Buddha and a piece of stone cracked off, and he saw something shiny underneath. He realized it was gold underneath, so he ran to his fellow monks and said, "The Buddha is golden, the Buddha is golden." And they all came out and realized he was telling the truth. They took their picks and hammers, and eventually they unearthed the Golden Buddha. So what is the metaphor here? The metaphor is each of us is golden by nature. But then we went to school and we were taught how to act, how to dress, what success in life was. And so we developed a casing of stone over our gold Buddha, to where at a young age, maybe 6 or 7, we believed that we were the stone Buddha and not the golden Buddha. But then something comes along that cracks our casing. Maybe it's an injury, a divorce, a financial setback, a trip to Thailand, something that shocks us awake and knocks off a piece of our stone. And only in that moment, when you have a piece of that stone knocked off, do you get to see inside and see the gold. I will tell you, once you see the gold, the stone will never satisfy you again. The secret to finding your golden Buddha lies not in the future, but in your past. All you need to do is start chipping away at the stone and rediscover those things you were passionate about when you grew up. Imagine a world where every person could return to their natural state, their golden Buddha. Just imagine. Thanks for watching.